In this video on digital evangelism, we're going to be discussing the easiest way to reach the lost online with the content and the work you're already doing on a weekly basis. Hello and welcome. Brett here with Clickmill.co. In this video, we're going to be discussing keywords. And before you start panicking a little bit, before you're like, oh, this is technical, let me just tell you, especially pastors, this is so important. I can't even begin to tell you. Just hang with me through this video, and I will show you 200,000 plus people who are asking you for the meaning of life, for tons of other things, and we'll make this so simple, you'll love it, okay? We'll make this simple enough a fifth grader could understand it, okay? So let's get into this, and I promise you're going to find it valuable, all right? So what's a keyword? I came over here to Google, and a keyword, I typed a keyword into Google. How do you find meaning in life? And actually what I did was I typed in, how do you find meaning? And Google said, oh, hey, look, a bunch of other people are searching for the keyword, how do you find meaning in life? So what I just said, okay, that's what I'll search for. So let's just say, now I'm a believer obviously, but let's say for example's sake, I'm a secular person, I'm searching, how do you find meaning in life? Well, that's the keyword. Now, how does Google match searches, right? So this is the search results page. So Google search results page. So here we are, we got the results. How does Google decide which result to show at the top? Now, if you're talking to a marketer, the big fancy term that we all use that makes no sense to anybody except marketers is the SERPs, search engine results page. Here it is. Now you're a marketer, okay? So this is the search engine results page. So Google decides what page shows up at the top. And this is really boiling it down. There's obviously a lot of other things to it, but this is the gist, and I'll show you. How do you find meaning in life? It just says what pages from trustworthy websites have that keyword on their page, specifically in their title. So look, how do you find meaning in life? How do you find meaning in life? 9 simple ways. Life hacks, right? So life hack, the philosophers and theologians over at Life Hacks are qualified, according to Google, to tell us what the meaning of life is. Follow your gifts and talents. Make great connections, right? Do something you've always wanted. Stop watching TV. Wow. You can rank on number 1 on a search like this. And I'm actually going to show you how hard it is to rank for a search like this in just a moment. But that's it. How do you find meaning in life? 9 simple ways. The meaning of life is surprisingly simple. The Atlantic. All right. So we've got the Atlantic telling us the meaning of life. What Americans find the meaning of life. That is Pew Research, so that's a little bit different than what is the meaning of life. It's saying, here's what people think the meaning of life is. Very Mindwell, if I understand correctly, this is like more of a humanistic psychology website. So a mental exercise to help you find the meaning in life. Okay, interesting. So you see here, all of these top results have the meaning of life in how do you find the meaning of life. So that the keyword, they have the keyword in the title. If you go and you read the article, the keyword will be throughout the article. You'll also probably notice, for example, and I have not looked at this in advance, so maybe I'm wrong, but it should be in the URL too, because that's another place Google looks to figure out what's this article about. So we'll click on it. What's the meaning of life? Okay, so it's very close. So if you look up here in the URL, lifehacks.com or, articles, whatever, how to put meaning back in your life. So that's pretty darn close to what is the meaning of life. And so, of course, that's why they're showing up. So how do you actually use these keywords in digital evangelism, in digital ministry, digital missions? I'm going to show you a tool. Now, this tool is called Keyword Finder. There are other great tools, SEMrush, that just stands for Search Engine Marketing, SEMrush. That is a great tool as well. Now, we don't have any kind of deals with any of these companies, so I'm just telling you as a marketer who works with ministries, what I love, what works for me. And I really enjoy this kwfinder.com. I'll put a link in the description, but great tool if all you want to do is look around for keywords. If you want more like fancy SEO tools, then SEMrush is great, but it's got a lot of extra stuff. That's going to be like $90 to $100 a month. This one I think is like $20 or $30. So if you're just looking for a little tool to use when you're planning a sermon or doing work on a church website, something like that, this is a great option. Now, let's look over here. I'm going to look up meaning of life. Let's look it up. How do you find meaning in life? Let's make sure we get the right keyword here. So now Google tracks all of these searches and tools like this. They track every search that's ever searched online, and they track how many people search for it. And so here is the significance of that. Let's just say in the Western world, it used to be, primarily a Judeo-Christian culture. And what did people do when they, God, what is all this about, God, right? We would pray. We would go to them. You and I still do that. But secular people don't do that, right? Or at least not as much as they used to when the culture was more Judeo-Christian, or at least deistic in some way, where there is, a relational God out there, even if we don't know who he is, we can talk to him. But in the secular, relativistic, postmodern world we live in, there is no God. There is no truth. We don't have answers to meaning or purpose or any God to go for. So what do people do? They go to Google. And these sites track the number of searches, how many searches, how hard it is to get in front of those people. And that's what I'm showing you in this video. So just so you are aware, people go to Google to find these answers now. How do you find meaning in life? Now, this is the keyword, all right? And we know if we just put that on a page, we have the likelihood of showing up. But how many people could we show up for? Well, here is the search volume, and this is over the last 12 months. So you'll see average monthly search volume. So this is each month. This isn't the total for 12 months. This is each month, 110 searches a month. Well, this might be good for a smaller ministry if you're just trying to start kind of taking over some Google search engine results space and just start ranking. If you're a larger ministry, this is going to be pretty small. So maybe not that one, but this shows you could have just written an entire sermon because you're like, hey, I like that term. How do you find the meaning of life? And turns out there's only 100 people a month searching for it. I don't know, maybe that's not the best use of resources. So let's look. How to find my purpose in life, 1,000 searches a month. So just by tweaking that much, because you did a little keyword research, you now have the possibility of showing up for 10 times the number of people if you can rank first for it. All right. Now, so here's search volume. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you here is the keyword difficulty, and that is how hard is it to rank for? And this is 1 to 100. 100 is you're never going to rank for it because it's like, I don't know, the U.S. government or Wikipedia or Yelp or something like that. You're never going to outrank them. And 1 being there is no content, or I guess not available. Like, for example, how do I find meaning in my life? 50 searches a month, and there isn't any keyword targeted content for this, at least according to this tool. Now, it's going to pull from these other ones, but if you were to keyword target content for this, you could probably show up for it. Okay, so this is easy. A 1 would be the lowest. So that said, how to find my purpose in life? Well, this is a 58. So fairly difficult. You'd have to be, you'd have to have a fairly large website with some, search engine power. You're getting, 5,000 people to your website a month, 2,000. You can also look in here. You can type in your website and say, what am I ranking for? And if you're ranking for things in the 50s, in the 60s, well, you can come and you can rank for this. So just so you're aware, and you can see right here, search by domain. So you can come put your domain in and see the kinds of keywords you're ranking for. What's common with a lot of ministries is they rank for their name, XYZ Church, xyzchurch.com, XYZ Church, Massachusetts. And you've branded your name, but you rank for nothing in terms of digital evangelism, trying to reach out to what people are looking for in terms of answers to questions about life and those types of things. But let's look here. So you understand search volume, you understand keyword, we understand the difficulty here, okay, how hard it is to rank for. Well, let's look at, and I'm going to show you, this is also in the book, The Digital Ministry, where we talk about this, and I kind of give you some training on this in depth and how to use it in your sermon planning and how to send it over to your media team and, have them implement these once the sermon goes to the site, how to do that in a way that it really ranks, because it doesn't really take any more effort. It just takes the system to put it in place and understanding what that process is. But that's all in the book. But I do want to show you one of the terms that we look at in that book, and that is, what is the meaning of life? And I'm trying to dispel this. Oh, this is a hassle. I want you to see how lost people are and how much they're looking for what you have to tell them. What is the meaning of life? 241,000 searches. This is higher than it was when I wrote The Digital Ministry. I think at that time it was like 95,000. So people are really asking, what is this? Now, I think this might be global and that was US, but either way, there's just tens and tens of thousands of people. What is the purpose of life? 25,000 searches a month. And these terms, you want to get in front of 241,000 people. This is only a 44 difficulty. Clickmill is a very small website. We got like maybe 50 pages. We got 20 blogs, all keyword targeted. But, we've got 20 blogs. We're not a huge site. We don't need to be a huge site. We have the growth that we want. We have the growth that we need where it's at. Now, if we want more, we'll continue to build the site. But that said, if we can rank for 35s, maybe low 40s, and so this is possible. If you've got 500, 1,000 people a month finding your site or more, you can probably come in here and go rank on first page for something like this out of 44. So especially if you've got a website, one of the ministries we work with is 6 campuses, and they're getting like 20, 30, 40,000 searches a month. And they could come in here and they could take this in 10 minutes. They could just make sure that it got listed in Google and they would show up and have just a powerful digital evangelism ministry. So, but let's just look and let's just spend another maybe 60 seconds, Let's look at this. Feeling lost in life. What is this? Oh, feeling lost in life. 5,000. Oh my goodness. You have to take this. If you're watching this and you have a ministry, you have to take this. Is great. I'm just coming up with this. This is 30 seconds of doing this. Feeling lost in life has 5,600 searches a month, I assume globally, maybe in the US. Keyword difficulty 15. This was last checked 9 days ago. There's no content on the internet to answer this question. You got 5,600 people asking this every month. You want to show up for them? Go make a sermon, go get the digital ministry, see that full process of posting that, and you're going to be, ranking for things like this. I feel lost in life. Another 1,800. You could take that in the same piece of content that you take feeling lost in life. I feel lost inside myself, losing interest in life, feeling lost in your 30s. I feel like I'm losing myself. I am lost in life. There's just tons of this. You could rank for all of these with one piece of a really good keyword targeted content. So this is an example of digital evangelism, digital ministry, whatever you want to call it. I'm dropping some keywords there. But anyway, if you're a ministry leader, if you're a pastor, don't be scared of this tool. Come in here. It's actually a lot of fun when all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, people want to hear about that. I already have sermons about that. Media team, go get these sermons, set them up on the site this way, put them on the site, keyword target them to these keywords, make sure Google has them. And we have videos where we go and we do keyword indexing, making sure those pages are actually showing up in Google. Media team, go make sure these are showing up in Google, keyword target them to this, and boom, now you're doing digital evangelism with content you already have. Now, before we end this video, I want to encourage you with this. You have a huge advantage over secular businesses and other non-Christian organizations. I used to do digital advertising, digital marketing with Christian guys, but we worked with secular organizations. And secular organizations cannot stand making content. You're a therapy firm, but you need a promo video for your services. What do you have to do? You either happen to know videography and have a DSLR camera and this fancy setup, lights over here and all this stuff. Well, what do you get? You got to figure all that out. You got to buy it all, or you got to pay someone to come do it. You're looking at $1,000 minimum, $2,000. Like, who knows? You got to pay the video editor. They don't want to do it. In terms of writing a blog, to write a blog, digital marketers, if you're going to pay a digital marketer to write a quality blog, you can get cheap stuff. But like if you have like someone whose English is their first language and they specialize in the field, for 1,500 words, for 1,000 words, for a decent blog that will rank on Google, it's like $300, $400, $500, probably toward the upper end if it's done well. And they do not want to do this. But here's the encouragement. You already do this. All you do in ministry is create content and teaching and training and discipleship. And the only thing we have to do, you're already 90% of the way there. You already put so much capital and resources into making this amazing content that can change people's lives. The only thing that's missing is phrasing it in a way that people are already looking for it. So I want to encourage you with that. Check out this keyword tool. Get with your media team and start putting together a strategy that you can use for your digital evangelism. Don't stop now. We have tons of other videos for you to watch and learn how to reach more people more effectively. If you love this video and you don't want to miss out on what we have coming up for you next, go ahead, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell to keep up to date with our newest content. If you want to work with Clickmill personally, head on over to clickmill.co, where you can learn more about our proven ministry marketing strategies. I look forward to seeing you in the very next video.